pick up.
We're up on Facebook.
We're up on Facebook, okay. And looks like we're up on YouTube. So, hello everyone. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Just going to get myself brought up here on both screens. I guess I am. So we're set to go. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Outreach, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. And first of all, I'd like to welcome back Mr. Mike Powell from PFO Observatory here in St. John. And also, of course, Mr. Paul Owen here from Moon Shadow Observatory in Hampton. Ooh.
Big hand.
Yeah.
Oh, big hands.
Big hands, yeah.
You should see the money I spend on gloves. I'm telling
Yeah. And we have with us tonight Mr. Tim Doucette. Hey, Tim. Tim's joining us from Deep Sky Observatory in the beautiful skies of Quinnan, Nova Scotia. Good evening, buddy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, guys.
So we're going to have a discussion here with Tim a little bit later on what Tim's up to these days down in his territory of the country. Tim's going to be our special guest this evening, originally from New Brunswick and a fellow RASCA member. We're going to have a discussion around his astrotourism destination, Deep Sky Eye Observatory in beautiful Quinnan. We'll be talking about how Tim, as a legally blind astronomer, first got started in the hobby and how his journey has led him to his current project. And
We got no audio on Facebook.
no audio on Facebook. That's not good. Let's see if I can fix that. Bear with me here, folks. Always a little technical glitch. 1 second here. Desktop audio. Speakers. Okay, let's try another test here. I wonder why there's no audio on Facebook. Okay.
So while he's doing that, how's the weather down your way today, Tim?
Well, today it was cloudy for the last little bit, and we actually finally started to get a little bit of rain. We've actually had a lot of problems we have a dug well, and we have gardens and such, but it's been really, really dry. We've had a lot of water issues. Anyway, we got a new well dug about a week ago. So now there's like 15 feet of water in there, but we're waiting for them to actually come and hook it up. So we're still pumping water.
Second. We don't want that.
So it's a walk to the well every day.
It's a walk to the river and pumping water to the well, and hopefully eventually it drains into the well.
Well, I'm sure it'll work out fine. That's awesome. At least you got the water. It's the main.
So that's it. Yeah.
So can we check and see if we have audio now? No, we got a feedback going on here.
Yeah, you got your audio up on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's like I remember when I played in a band and we had the sound guy. It was his first time out.
That's me.
We used to hear that all the time. I think that's why I'm half deaf.
The aliens listen in on us. Peter Vespa says audio's back and audio's good.
There you go.
Thanks, Pete.
Feedback loop going, I think, though. Just bear with me for a sec.
Here we go again.
That's all right. Gives us time to kind of get settled into our chairs, have a sip of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm going to do right now.
Let's try that. Let's try that. That better? 1, 2, 3.
So this is how our live show works, Tim.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
I'm a techie guy, so I totally understand.
Okay, let's check again.
At this time.
Let's check again with Facebook. Everybody okay out there still in Facebook land? Someone comment back.
Just waiting for a reply here.
Okay. And
I'm just checking with YouTube.
Yeah. We'll get started here soon enough.
Oh, yeah, we're doing this great.
Audio's good now. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Deborah. There.
Okay. It says better here on YouTube as well, so I think we're okay.
Great. Okay.
All right, let's
Start
resume.
over.
I don't think we need to start over. We'll carry on. So I'll be starting with a talk this week about what's up in space this week, and then we're going to have our usual other segments like Rosanna's fun facts along with your photo submissions. Got lots of those tonight to go through. And we'll close with a show discussion on what's up in our night sky this coming week if we have time. Okay, so let's sit back a little bit, and remember this is a live broadcast, so if you have any questions about the night sky, we're happy to try and answer them here. We've got 3 guys on here that are more than happy to join in. So let's get started with a little talk about what's new in space this week. And I'll grab my other page of notes here. All right, and now I just need a second to share my screen. And I'm going to share this one. And once I get my right slides up here, let's go open with those. Okay, looks like that's being shared on both screens. Okay, you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, well, for the first time ever, astronomers have directly imaged multiple planets orbiting a sun-like star. The European South Observatory's Very Large Telescope, the VLT in Chile, and it's Chile, not Chile, I guess, photographed 2 giant planets circling TYC 8998-760-1. So remember that name. A very young analog of our own sun that lies about 300 light years from Earth. The discovery is a snapshot of an environment that is very similar to our own solar system, but at a much earlier stage of its evolution. Before this historic cosmic portrait, only 2 multi-planet systems have ever been directly imaged, and neither of them features a sun-like star. Oh, that's one part of the story. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's go with the next slide here. A cosmonaut has bioengineered human cartilage tissue at the International Space Station for the first time, according to a new study. Researchers think their findings have the possibility to improve deep space travel in the future. In December 2018, Russian cosmonaut Oleg Kononenko used a new custom-designed machine called a bioprinter that utilized a magnetic field to assemble cartilage cells in space. Kononenko performed the experiment in the Russian segment of the ISS during Expedition 5859. The researchers who developed this system on Earth published the results of their work on Wednesday, July 15th. A cruise that will travel in space for long stretches of time and to increasingly farther destinations will have to be self-reliant. A future version of this experiment's bioprinter might help a crew member replace a human body part, according to the researchers. They added that another application might be to print food for people traveling to Mars. Cool. That'd be tasty, wouldn't it? Bioprinted food. Next up, the Space Force. Where's my notes on that? Hang on. Did I lose my notes? Ah, there it is. The U.S. Space Force recently revealed its official motto, Semper Supra, or always above in Latin, and its official logo. What does that logo look like? According to a post from the Space Force Twitter account, the motto represents our role in establishing, maintaining, and preserving U.S. freedom of operations in the space domain. Making up the internal structure of the logo are 4 silver beveled elements, which symbolize the joint armed forces supporting space missions, the Air Force, Army, Navy, and Marines. I still think it looks like Star Trek, but...
Oh, yeah, sure does.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to hide it. What's up next? Okay, well, Mars will be receiving at least 3 new guests in the near future. The United Arab Emirates, or UAE, have launched their first mission to the Mars. The HOPE mission began its trip towards the Red Planet on July 19th, when it launched atop a Mitsubishi Heavy Industries HA rocket from Japanese Tanegashima Space Center. The $200 million HOPE orbiter mission should give scientists the data they need to piece together how weather on Mars changes over the course of a day and of a year at every spot on the globe, and how the planet is losing its atmosphere. And if I go to my next slide, this is the next slide brought up by them to show the actual mission. Its mission journey. And from there, we can go to this slide, which is going to talk a little bit about China has also launched a mission to Mars. The Tianwen-1 mission launched atop a long March 5 rocket from Hainan Island's Wenchang Satellite Launch Center, July 23rd. Tianwen-1 consists of an orbiter and a lander-rover duo, a combination of craft that have never been launched together before toward the Red Planet. If all goes well according to plan, Tianwen-1 will arrive at the Red Planet in February 2021. The lander-rover pair will touch down on the Martian surface 2 to 3 months later, somewhere within the Utopia Planitia, a large plain in the planet's northern hemisphere that also welcomed NASA's Viking 2 lander back in 1976. The solar-powered rover will then spend about 90 Martian days studying its surroundings in detail. And just 2 more to go here. And of course, NASA is expected to launch their next rover, Mars 2020 Perseverance, by the end of this month. Mars 2020 is a Mars rover mission by NASA's Mars Exploration Rover that includes the Perseverance rover and the Ingenuity helicopter drone. So we're going to fly a drone on Mars. Pretty cool. It is scheduled to launch on the 30th of July 2020 and will touch down in Jezero Crater on Mars on 18th of February 2021. The mission will seek signs of habitable conditions on Mars in the ancient past and will also search for evidence or biosignatures of past microbial life. A key mission requirement for this rover is that it must help prepare NASA for its Mars sample return mission campaign, which is needed before any crewed mission takes place. So this rover here is going to actually drill down into Mars. It's going to pull up samples in tubes, basically, and leave them on the surface. And then a future mission will go and pick them up and bring them back to Earth. So pretty cool. And finally, we'll end on a note here. And finally, police in central Wyoming said they arrested a man for public intoxication, claiming that he had traveled back in time to warn of an alien invasion. Casper police say the man they encountered at 10:30 p.m. on a Monday claimed he was from the year 2048. KTWAM in Casper reports that the man told the police he wanted to warn the people of Casper that aliens will arrive next year and that they should leave as soon as possible. He asked to speak to the president of the town, about 200 kilometers northwest of Cheyenne. The man told police he was only able to time travel because aliens filled his body with alcohol. And he noted that he was supposed to be transported to the year 2018, not this year. So,
well, at least in Casper, he'll encounter a friendly ghost.
There you go. And that's what's new in space this week.
Wow. I was reading that little drone that they're going to send up. Apparently, it'll only get 20 minutes of flight time before it has to land and take like 24 hours to recharge because the atmosphere is so thin.
Right. It's the revolutions are amazing high, aren't they? Like 10,000 RPM or something?
Yeah, it's got nothing to bite on.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Okay, so that's what's new in space this week. So let's carry it over now to our special guest. Hey, Tim.
Emmett says hi to the Timinator.
Hi, Emanator.
I'll be back.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Really appreciate the invite. It's great even just to talk to you guys. My astronomy roots, I guess, have been in New Brunswick. So
it's been too long, Tim.
It's been way too long. We've missed everybody, that's for sure. It's a big change having to, sort of pick up where you've lived for the last, 15 years and kind of move. So it was a big challenge. So I'm originally from Quinnen, Nova Scotia. That's where I grew up. And we pretty much, my wife and I, we've lived in Halifax, we've lived in Ottawa, and all these, and of course in Moncton as well. But Moncton was really kind of home for us, that's where we made our friends and everything. But, for family reasons, we ended up coming back home. And, my son, he's 20 now, and he's graduated and done his small engine repairs, going into machine fabrication this year. So he was one of the reasons we moved here. He loved the country, and some people don't do so well in cities, and he's one of those types of people. And my family was getting older and all that, so we decided to make the move back to Quinnen, and so that's kind of where we are now. And we're still waiting we've had a few visits from friends from New Brunswick, friends from out west that visited us in the last couple of years, but we're extending the invite for other friends of ours from New Brunswick. Come and visit us, because we got some awesome skies down here.
You sure do. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how you get started in hobby and what got you going in it, maybe.
Well, there's a few things that happened. So I was always interested in astronomy, right from probably since I was about 12, really, or even younger than that. Of course, most kids get a telescope when they're 12 years old, and they're really interested in astronomy. I was interested, but I kind of lost faith, I guess, in my ability because of my eye condition. So I'll show you a little bit here. I am legally blind. I was born with congenital cataracts from birth. And when they realized I had the cataracts too late, so the neural pathways didn't quite develop as sort of the resolution needed to give you really great eyesight. But so I was left with about 10% of my eyesight. And today, so let me share this. So today, I don't know if you can see this slide.
Yep, we can.
My kitty cats. What you see is essentially, for those of you that know cameras, the way I like to think about it is, if your eye is a 10 megapixel camera, my eye is only a 1 megapixel camera. So I need to magnify things quite a bit. And the interesting thing, for me, is I'm a software developer by day, astronomer by night, and I still have to use a large screen to be able to do my work and to be able to, edit my photos, and also have to use software magnification. So this kind of all started back in 2003. When Mars was the closest it was going to be from Earth. My wife had found this out while we were living in Moncton, and she said, I'm gonna buy you an early Christmas present. So she bought me a little telescope, as you can see there, from Costco, one of the old Costco brands they used to sell. So that photograph, I actually was pretty excited when I actually just looked through the eyepiece and saw a big, blob. To me, it's all really I could tell what it was. And I grabbed, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I was coupling the 2 times Barlow with the 3 times Barlow and the 2 millimeter eyepiece to see how close I could get. Of course, for those of you that know a little bit of astronomy, that doesn't usually work too well. But the interesting thing is I was able to hold my Sony Handycam steady enough to get that shot of Mars, and you can just kind of see a little bit of a polarized cap and a little bit of the detail, which is not really, it's a little bit out of focus, I'm sure, but it was still really, really cool. So I got really excited about that, but I still doubted myself, and I thought, well, I don't think I'm going to bother with this hobby. My wife's like, no, she said, I think you need to. And I still believe to this day, really, that the only reason is I was into video games and stuff, and she's like, wants me to get out of the house.
Yeah.
So I said, well, she said, why don't you find a group of people that might be interested in helping you out? Maybe they can show you through, maybe get you to use a telescope that, there's maybe certain things they can do for your eyes. Well, I said, okay. So that's what I did. I went into the university at one night for stargazing at the University of Moncton, and I ended up going out with a group from the Royal Astronautical Society of Canada from the Moncton, New Brunswick Centre. They took me out stargazing one night, and my friend Charles Doucette had told me, he said, look through the eyepiece here and, tell me what you can see. I said, okay. So I looked through the eyepiece, and what I was seeing was this little gem here. And for those of you that may know what this is the Ring Nebula. And it's a supernova remnant that's basically a star that's exploded and outward gases are expanding. But the interesting thing about it was when I explained to him what I saw, I said, well, I see what looks like a donut with two dots in the middle, and it looks like a pool of water in the middle. And he looked at me and he said, well, I don't think you should be able to see that with this size telescope. And he only had an 8-inch Dob with, I don't remember what eyepiece he was using. And I scratched my head. I said, well, wait, I'm the blind one here. What are you talking about? I can't even see you if you're across the road. What he was sort of seeing was more along the left side, what the picture is there. So that got me really, really excited. I'm like, I don't know why, but this is really cool. And as the night went on, I was looking at things through the telescope that, they weren't really seeing. And that's when I decided this hobby was for me. And I started, I built a little observatory in the backyard in Moncton, right in the city. And for the 12, or so years, we had visitors come every month and do outreach with the RASC, and was pretty involved with all of that, and I loved it. And that's kind of at the point where in 2014 we moved back home to Quinnen, and that's where we started to, I decided that my retirement project was happening now. I've got a lot of problems with my eyes. I've had detached retinas, besides what I have glaucoma. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to wait till I'm 65 to be an astronomer. So, and being able to, I knew from growing up in Quinnen how these beautiful dark skies here, I was actually approached the year before we moved by a local group that was actually trying to get our area certified for its dark skies. And I was able to connect with them and provide data with photographs and such to the Starlight Foundation, which is a group from Spain that handles, they've got a significant backing from UNESCO and the International Astronomical Union, the World Tourist Association. And that's what they do. It's similar to the same thing that RASC does, just on a global scale. And it's like we're all trying to work at the same, trying to accomplish the same goals, which is outreach, sharing the night sky. So we started with this certification. We were the first in North America to receive the Starlight tourist destination. And we're also the fourth in the world to receive a second designation called a Starlight Tourist Reserve. So the center part of Nova Scotia area, around Keji, just outside of Keji, there's we're all part of this UNESCO biosphere. And because of that, we were able to get the Starlight Reserve designation as well. So it was really, really cool. It was a lot of work, and 3 municipalities, the Argyll, Clare, and Yarmouth municipalities all chipped in a huge pile of money to try to get this certification done. One of the things that so we basically we got the designation, and we created a Southwest Nova stargazing website that holds the Acadian Skies and Mi'kmaq Lands designation. That's its name. And we started this year. We started a new astronomy group, trying to engage people. And we had a really great response for the first time. We had 40 or so people interested. So we had one meeting, and then of course the COVID thing hit, and it kind of changed everything. But we're planning to try to resume that in September. The other big project that we've been kind of working on too is Cap the Light, Save the Night. It's some stuff. It's a little sort of light pollution awareness program, and it's pretty exciting because we've had great support from the municipality, and in fact, the municipality of Argyle is in the process of adding light pollution restriction, or not restrictions, but light guarantees of protection of the night sky, which is one of the mandates that we have. If we want to keep our certification, we have to be able to say that, hey, we're actually working towards not just teaching astronomy, not just tourism, but we have to protect the night sky. So we've been doing a big education piece. We have posters and banners, and I've been doing presentations for the municipalities, and we're trying to get projects. We have this really cool project that we'll be introducing to the schools in September. Oops. So yeah, that's kind of where we're started. That's kind of where I came from, and how I got sort of involved in the astronomy bit. So kind of jumped ahead a little bit there, but you have any questions?
No, I guess all is good so far. I guess, yeah, we'll lead into to where you are now.
Yeah. So when we moved here, one of the things that, I had Deep Sky Eye Observatory in Moncton, and we kind of created this, we moved it along and created a new sort of, decided I love this so much that, I wanted to try to make a few dollars to try to, make it sort of eventually, you never know, make it my full-time. You never know how it will work out. So we created the Deep Sky Eye experience. We had a bunch of experiences. We opened up in 2016. We have different experiences. Now we're back to one because of the COVID thing. But one of the cool things that we have is we partnered with National Geographic with the Night Sky Odyssey goggles, which people get to take home with them. It gives them an augmented reality view of the night sky. Our project grew to renting out cabins with skylights, as you can kind of see a little bit there, and very unique accommodations, and people went crazy over them last year, which was the sky bubble tents. And it's basically an inflatable tent that's heated, that keeps the bugs out. There's no bugs that get in. And you get to experience the night sky in comfort with no obstructions. In fact, the vinyl dome, actually kind of has this weird like a 3D effect when you look up at the sky, and it really, like, people look at it and they feel like they're in the sky. That's kind of an example of what it looks like inside. We had 3 tents, and there's sort of a time lapse there too that shows what it looks like at night.
That is so
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And so we've been doing a lot of outreach, with the Acadian Skies and McMullins, and I do my own thing with the Deep Sky Eye Observatory. This year we've had to change things because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I also kind of put up our mission statement just for people to get an idea, to take you on a journey to the cosmos and to inspire you to look up at the stars, to give you a better understanding of the universe we live in. And ultimately, we try to encourage people, and, we hope that people get a new appreciation for our planet and everybody on it, our tiny blue dot. I like to refer to it as Carl Sagan would say.
Yeah. He said it well.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So this year, what we're doing is we're setting up like an outdoor theater kind of setup, and I just put some chairs out there. We have to space them properly and all of that kind of thing. But we were going to use the back part of the observatory, but the problem with using the back part of the observatory is that if you do that and you're standing in the back of the observatory, you're missing out on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So the observatory was angled properly so that when people actually walk out the door, not this door here, this is the back door, this is an addition. The front door, when they walk out the front door at night, they experience the Milky Way right there.
Wow,
when
nice.
they walk outside. And a lot of people just, wow, like they because when they come into the observatory, it's not quite dark yet. And then when they come out after the presentation, they're like, wow. And inside the observatory, the way the presentation projector is, it lets you adapt your night sky vision. It darken, like we've got a filter on it, and we keep it fairly dark. So this year we're going to have the outdoor presentation. It'll be projected onto a screen, and we'll be doing a night sky tour with laser pointer type thing, like you guys probably do as well. The only difference is what we'll be doing is, now that I have the dome automated somewhat, we'll be able to show live views of what the telescope sees as we talk about them. And I've also set up a laser pointer on the telescope that's controlled by remote keychain. So I can turn it on and off and show people where the telescope is pointing so that they can use their own binoculars and follow the laser pointer.
Nice.
Oh, there it is. So that's kind of the setup that we're going to be doing this year. We'll see how it's going to work out. I mean, we're trying our best to come up with different things. We were going to close completely, and then, of course, we hate to, because we built up such a momentum last year. We've actually won some awards, which was pretty exciting. We won the Sustainable Tourism Award issued by Parks Canada, the Crystal Award last year.
Wow.
And also our designation as the Acadian Skies and Mi'kmaq Lands won in the first edition of the Starlight Tourist Awards in Spain. We won the Diffusion of Astronomy award, so that was really exciting too. So we didn't want to break the momentum. People are wanting stuff to do, so I think this is a good alternative for now. We'll see how it works out.
Absolutely. Wow, it's awesome. It's good to see that you're still you're able to continue on with this, right? Are you going to continue with your sky bubble tents this year, or?
No, this year we ended up closing them because my wife helps out a lot with the cleaning, and we couldn't find, even with the manufacturer, we know that ultraviolet kills the virus, but the problem is we can't leave the tents open. We have to cover them during the day, otherwise they'll burn up. It's like a mini sauna in there. We accidentally left for about a week. Not even a week. It was 3 days. It was 3 days of sun a couple of years ago, and we had left the cover off. And we went back inside, and we had one of those infrared heaters that it wasn't even plugged in or anything, but it was hot enough that it cracked it in half.
Wow.
Yeah, and it actually not burned, but stained the inside of the tent. The UV just deteriorated, and of course the bedspreads were all they were black, and now they're gray. So we had to keep them covered, and because of the material, we weren't able to clean them properly. So we said, you know what, we're not even going to take the chance. It's unfortunate, but we'll resume next year with the sky bubble and the cabin accommodations.
The stars will still be there for sure.
Stars will still be there. Yeah.
You must have taken this picture recently, did you, with Jupiter and Saturn there?
Yeah, last night actually.
Last night. Well, look at that for your sky last night.
Yeah, that was last night. My friend Brenda was with me last night. She was taking the time lapses and stuff too, and I said I got to take at least a quick shot because I don't have anything to show on the website to be able to show people what the sky looks like. And that's very little editing actually. There's almost no editing except for I think all I did was I increased the shadow a bit for and adjust a little bit of noise reduction, but that was about it.
Yeah, wow, amazing.
Was that what we saw? I think it was you who posted the sky, the meter. You're 21.83. Was that right?
Yeah, that's 21.83. Last night, my average has been about 21.7.
Wow.
Last night was a little bit murky. The fog was coming in, so it was 21.56. I have a real meter. I don't use my phone with it. Rask Halifax was kind enough to give it to me on my grand opening day, so I could keep track of the night sky brightness here.
Yeah. Is that the darker sky in Nova Scotia?
What's that?
Is that the darkest sky in Nova Scotia?
No, it's not. No. If you drive 15 minutes north, you get to Kempt, which is sort of closer to the center part of Nova Scotia. It's even darker. I've had 22.05 there.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Dark.
Yeah, it's very dark. Yeah. I've had 22.05, 22.03 here on a couple of occasions. Having a great. We had a power outage one night, and the town went out. So, it was actually a planned outage, and I've actually got some photographs before and after too.
How'd you plan that? You're just trying to drum up business, weren't you?
Making friends with the power company.
Hey, whatever works, sure.
So, one of the things that I'm working on right now is we're finishing the automation part on the observatory. I'm working with Dave Lane on some of the stuff, and my son is actually quite good at metal fabrication. So he's building me a special track that I can open and close the shutters. And the idea is that we want to put the telescope on social media, like St. Mary's University has been doing. And I want to be able to use the Hyperstar. I'm using a Celestron 14-inch with a Hyperstar, 14-inch Edge HD. And what's really fast and really cool about that is now instead of imaging for hours, I can image in seconds.
Yeah.
So like in one night, one of my first nights that I was playing with the with the system, because it runs very fast, f1.9. So like I can grab, here's like 6 targets I grabbed in one night with multiple. So my maximum exposure time I really need to use is 30 seconds.
My goodness.
I don't need to do any guiding or anything. I don't need a guide scope. It just 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And some of the images that come out of it are nuts.
Look at that.
Wow.
And that was earlier on in like May. I think I got this one. It was really low on the horizon, but you take 20 or 30 exposures and that's it. So one of the things there's a picture of the comet that apparently will be in Sky News next month or
really?
in
Awesome.
September. Yeah, that's
congratulations! Great stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I hadn't submitted anything for a very long time. But.
Excellent.
And that's one taken with a 135 millimeter lens.
That's amazing job.
Yeah, I saw that one. That's
Look
gorgeous.
at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fantail on that.
Got 52 images stacked and aligned with PixInsight.
Awesome.
And here's a little. Couple of nights ago, we were hoping it was going to be a good thing, but as the moon was setting, there's the comet there.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. And then my lens actually fogged up because I forgot to turn the dew heater on. I'm sure you guys have done that before.
Yeah.
It'll do that.
It'll do that, yeah.
It'll do that.
We're well aware of fog here.
Nice shot. Is that a time lapse, Tim? This one?
Yeah, that was a time lapse. Yeah. So that's where I've been, and that's what I'm doing, and hopefully we'll still be pushing on. And there's lots of things to do. There's lots of things people are interested in. We're really pushing the light pollution thing hard this year. And once our municipality does it right, then we can go to the other municipalities and say, look, this is what we're doing, and this is why. And we've actually we were told I was in 2018, from 2014 to 2018, we have increased astrotourism, and this is a study done by Airbnb and the foundation, and we've increased astrotourism by 228%.
Awesome.
To
Wow.
Nova Scotia in general. So,
Congratulations on that. That's wonderful. Yeah.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
I mean, astrotourism is not something people think about as a tourism market, right? And I mean, there are
that's
places,
exactly it. They call it experimental tourism, and there was actually a study done by a project done by the Yarmouth and Acadian Shores Tourist Association, and they hired a consultant that basically went around the province or Southwest Nova and said, and they tried to analyze what are the things that make us unique, that make us stand out, and that was the top thing, was the night sky.
Yes,
It wasn't the lobster and the fishing and all that. It was other places have that, but the people that have the night skies, the places that have night skies are fading. So it's a matter of trying to leverage that. And I've offered my services to businesses that want to incorporate, starlight activities in their businesses. So I've had a few people that have said, "Can you come out and teach the astronomy?" I said, "No, but I can teach you how to do it, so you can do it."
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's awesome work that you're doing down there, and to have that type of facility to be able to educate people on the night sky, it's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And on a personal note, Tim, I can understand a bit about your condition. I have a son that has Leber's congenital amaurosis. So he has nystagmus, and he's had eye conditions since birth. And he actually has a condition called Senior-Loken syndrome, where his eyes and his kidneys are both together. So he's on dialysis at the moment. He's 34. But he struggled all of his life, too, with the same thing. He works for a software company in Manitoba.
Oh, okay.
And he does the same type of work. He has a large screen, and he has magnifying, and he functions along pretty good for the disability that he had. But I can understand the challenges, and hats off to you for coming as far as you have, for sure. Believe me.
Well, thank you, and I think that's the thing with my condition. They remove the lenses of the eyes, so what's happening is I'm seeing ultraviolet light.
Right.
So my brain interprets it as part ultraviolet as well. In talking with Ralph Chu, he expected it was about 380 nanometers, so it's a bit higher than the normal person would see.
Okay.
And plus my pupils the normal pupil size for a person is 2 to 8 millimeters. Mine is 13.
Right.
So I've got a bigger aperture.
Right.
And I had only talked to one person in the world who had contacted me from Wales who had the same condition.
Okay.
And he also is into astronomy. And,
really?
Yeah. And he said, now I know why I can see better, than all my friends, even though I have less vision in the day. And actually, a little while ago, I met a girl who they brought her to the observatory because she has a similar condition where she has no lenses in her eyes. And she ended up having the same ultraviolet sensitivity. We did the test right there.
Wow.
And she has the same sensitivity as I do. So she was actually very encouraged because she was with only 10% of her eyesight, and being like 10 years old, it's hard to, sort of fit in.
Absolutely.
But, her mother was very touched that, to be able to see, somebody who's, moved forward in life despite their disability, and sort of changed it around to work for them.
Absolutely.
So, that's all we can do is try to encourage people. And I give that to everybody. I tell people, you've been born the way you are. You can do things to try to help yourself out, but we're, as humans, we have to adapt and try to make the best with what we have. And, I think a lot of people have so much potential and they don't give themselves enough credit.
That's it. My son with nystagmus and large pupils too. Maybe I'll have to introduce him to you and see if he can take a look through the eyepiece himself. He may find that there are things that he can see as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Excellent. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Guys, any questions there on Facebook or YouTube that you're seeing coming up, or?
No, just a lot of good comments, Tim, from a lot of folks are just, saying thank you and great work and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, what more can you say, really? What you've accomplished and what's going on, and hopefully the future of that part of Nova Scotia will flourish.
Yeah, I think there's some jealousy for your darkness of sky down there.
Yeah, quite a bit actually. Yeah,
all of us.
Yeah,
yeah, including us. Yeah, for sure.
Emile Cormier.
We're in this weird spot here too. Like Quinnan is about 27 minutes or so from Yarmouth, which is off in more inland. So, like for example, last night, the fog tends to not consume us as quickly as it does the shore. So usually by 4 or 5 o'clock, we start to get mist from the river coming in, but usually it can be foggy 10 minutes away. And here we're in this weird zone of tropical weather of some kind. So we do luck out a lot of the time.
Yeah, right on.
So we're inviting everybody to come see us, come visit.
Yeah, absolutely. There was one question here. Tim, Emil asked, Tim, do you have issues with astigmatism with such a large entrance pupil, if you don't mind me asking? So,
my left eye has astigmatism because of surgical buckle from a detached retina.
Okay.
So there's a fair amount of astigmatism. I don't use my left eye very much. I don't use it for stargazing at all. But my right eye has only a small astigmatism, not enough to cause any issue. In fact, I actually see better through the eyepiece if I actually remove my glasses. I'm one of the only person that can focus a telescope that actually has no eyepiece directly on the back of my retina. Imagine your eye being a DSLR camera, and if you take the lens off and just attach it sort of to a telescope with no lens, with no eyepiece. So my eye acts the same way because I don't have a lens in there. So it's kind of an interesting, all I have to do is when I look into the eye, if I look into even if I leave an eyepiece in, take my glasses off, I can take a 32 millimeter eyepiece, and by backing away from the telescope, I can actually make it like a 10 millimeter eyepiece.
Wow.
Oh,
It's a strange thing. It's optics.
yeah.
So how do we find you how do we find you out there, Tim, on your site, Deep Sky
Yeah, you can find us on our website, deepskyi.com, deepskyeye.com, and we're on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all those places. And if anybody has any questions, you can contact us through there.
And everybody that watched the show tonight will get a super big discount, right?
10%. There you go.
10%, there you go.
As you would say, discount yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the prices just went up 10 so they can give you a 10% discount. Thanks, Tim.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Tim. That's excellent. Thanks very much for joining us with this. Okay, so we're going to carry on now with our... Paul, are you going to want to do your segment right now?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Give me a minute to get set here.
Okay.
You know what I got to do? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm ready.
I'm not.
Oh, you're not? Oh.
I almost am, but you just give me 1 second here. And that part is, let me just get this part up here. And that part is, okay. And
I'm supposed to be connected.
I got to share, hey, sometime.
Yeah, you should.
I should probably do that maybe first.
Well,
okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, so my speaker quit again, so we'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
We're ready for there.
Well, hello, Rosanna. We missed you last week. And so this week we're going to continue on what we had from last week. But it's kind of timely because of what Tim was doing with his photographs and with the Comet. Mike's had some fantastic photographs, and last week's photos were all about the Comet, and I think we'll probably have some this week. So that's what we're going to talk about with Rosanna with this week is the Comet. So Rosanna writes, and she says, since everyone has been trying to see this wonder, I was lucky enough last night to do so. I thought a few facts about the comets might be in keeping with Neowise's appearance these past weeks. Now, I'm going to actually, hopefully, see if these pictures will go. There we go. So this is the first picture that she included. And so what you see here, comets are theorized to come from two comet nurseries in the universe, either the Kuiper belt or the Oort cloud. Neowise has come from the Oort cloud. Comets that come from this area have a much longer orbital periods, and the orbital plane of a comet from the Oort cloud may be greatly inclined to that of an orbital plane with the planets. And in fact, this one here, I guess the number everybody's using is, before we see this one again, is going to be 6,800 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, 7,000 years, yep.
Yeah. So there are currently over 3,000 known comets. Astronomers think there may be up to 1 billion in our solar system. So when comets move close to the sun, they develop a halo. And this halo, and I'm going to see if I can find that for you. This halo is what happens when the radiation vaporizes and the ice and gas, or vaporizes the ice and the gas. So the halo is known as the comet's coma. So what you're seeing here is a demonstration of what they call a retrograde. So Neowise is a retrograde comet with a near parabolic orbit and was discovered on March 27, 2020. And here is a little GIF to help explain a retrograde motion. Chris, can you make a retrograde explanation out of that motion?
No.
Okay. I kind of can. So basically,
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
What's happening is let's say that dot in the center is the Earth, or the solar, the Earth, and then the comet would be the red circle going around. So what would happen is, while we're going one distance, because the orbit of the comet is so far out and ahead, or quite a ways away from us, that depending on how we're spinning and turning and going around the sun, it actually will do the same, and our planets do the same. Where Jupiter would kind of almost, if you watch it in a portion of a season, Jupiter will come to a point where it almost looks like it's stopping and going backwards. And then it'll come to another point again where it'll start moving forward. And the comets will do the same sort of thing. That little diagram is kind of explaining that.
I could have helped you there, Paul. I was just joking. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You forced me to do it. I'm done.
It is that way. Like a lot of the planets, when we see them out there, they tend to make like a circle in the sky. And that's similar to the fact that if you're driving along the highway and you have Jupiter out there that's passing along and you're catching up to Jupiter, well, when you look at the background, it looks like the both of you are going at the same rate of speed. All of a sudden, when you catch up to that other planet, then it looks like it has stopped compared to what's happening in the background. And then as you start to pass it, it looks like it's going backwards. And then all of a sudden, the two of you are going straight ahead again. So it kind of makes a loop. So that's what they call a retrograde. Trying to follow how this works in this drawing, but that's what retrograde means anyway.
Okay, great. So a very awesome map showing. Now I'm going to show a map here. This one, I'm going to make this a little bigger because these are just little. There we go.
There you go.
So a very awesome map showing the comet Neowise's path by Tomarin. This is the complete cycle that it goes through, and you can look this up if you want to. And it's by Tomruen. So if you look that up, Tourman, OWN, Tourman owned, and it's and you can go on there and it'll kind of explain the whole path of where that comet goes in its life cycle. So let me see if there's any other ones there. So if you haven't spied Neowise yet, don't despair, and it should be around for the rest of July. Although now it's starting to fade a little bit, and they're even suggesting that there could be a little split in the nucleus, but we'll wait and see. So if it's cloudy, check out the fabulous photos from across Canada, including Mike's, Chris's, and Tim's. Some fantastic things. Go out and get Sky News next issue. Tim will be in it with his Comet, and fantastic shot there. And so check out the fabulous photos from across Canada on Rask National Facebook, and some amazing local captures from our local club's Facebook page. And that is this week's.
Oh, was I ready? Okay.
Are you ready?
That is this week's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Hey. And the speaker's working again. Hey.
Thank you very much, Rosanna. What was an excellent. Actually, it was a fun fact. We had fun with that one.
That was a lot of fun with that one. Thanks so much.
And there you go.
Thanks, Paul. Another awesome fun fact, and a timely one for sure. Okay, so I guess we've got a few photo submissions to show now. If you can bear with me for a sec, I've got a number of photos here actually that were submitted. Some to my Facebook page, and some that were shipped into our Sunday Night Astronomy Show Gmail address. So if you give me a second, I'm just going to pick out my screen and see if I can get my photos up. Okay, I think I'm sharing there now. Okay, so first up we've got this one. by Emile
Yeah.
Cormier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Emile says Emile Cormier said he captured this on July 21st from Kujipquak National Park. He used a 50mm f1.4 prime lens, ASI 071 camera, or AS 1071 camera, equatorial mount, stack of 50 by 60 second frames. Of course, this is Comet Neowise. He says, I bought the lens on the same day, especially for this comet, but it didn't have manual aperture control. I ended up shooting with the lens wide open at f1.4, resulting in some bloated and deformed stars. Since he figured out how to set the aperture using a DSLR camera body before attaching the lens to my astronomy camera. Now that I know how to set my aperture on my new lens, I wish there was a practice comet. Don't we all? And that a similar one would show up again later this year. Is it too much to ask for, he says. So Emile also wanted me to mention that he dedicated this photo to his mother, Marie Lucy Cormier, and that he named it Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Emile.
Very nice.
Great shot.
Really nice.
Now we've got a few here from Mary Craig, who's a regular contributor to our photo sessions for sure. Mary submitted this one, Comet Neowise, on July 20th, 2020. The settings were 18 to 35 millimeter lens, ISO 2500, 28 millimeter f5.6, and 15-second shot.
Beautiful.
Incredible. And Mary has offered this next shot for us too. She says, man-made International Space Station, manned by 5 people, and made by Mother Nature, Comet Neowise. So she captured the two of them in the same shot. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well done, Mary. I've got another one here, of course, with Milky Way and Jupiter and Saturn, captured on July 20th.
Beautiful shot.
Mm.
Where does she live? You know?
Mary lives in, I think she's in St. Andrews, pretty sure. I'll have to check.
Yeah, she got beautiful skies down
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
amazing sky. I heard she got the IS, she has a Pendlebury Lighthouse with the Milky Way.
there. Wow,
So she
beautiful.
said, I've been trying to capture this one for years. And you did. Great job.
Because
really
Saturn
nice
and
shot.
Jupiter right there in the
Yeah, right
shoulder.
there in the shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
That's what I was going to say.
And here's another one from Mary. Market Wharf in St. Andrews. Oh, she said the ISS and Comet Neowise meet again. Sorry, that's that one there. So she's got the ISS and Comet Neowise again in the photo.
Nice.
I guess these are in St. Andrews. And there's Market Wharf in St. Andrews, New Brunswick, with Comet Neowise in the sky. So excellent shots. Thanks, Mary, for that.
Yeah, beautiful.
Got one here from Deborah Lounsbury. Deborah says, we were pleased to see this magnificent moon on the 24th as we drove to see the blue lights on the Town Hall building in Truro, Nova Scotia. It was spectacular. She said, I will look forward to tonight's broadcast. Cheers. So thanks, Deborah. Awesome shot.
Yeah, well done.
Beautiful.
Jeremy, hopefully I'm saying this right, Adenstedt. Jeremy says, I got some more pictures of Neowise last night. It's definitely getting a lot dimmer in the evening sky and harder to see with the naked eye. I also got a decent pic of the Andromeda galaxy. Couldn't find it with a telescope, but binos still gave me a pleasant view. Of course, with binos is one of your best views you're going to get of Andromeda. There was also a fly past of the ISS, which I tried taking a picture of through the binos. Damn, that thing moves fast, he says, and hard to track. You bet. When I was about to pack up, I seen Jupiter starting to pop out from behind the neighbor's tree, so I decided to look at it for a while and then tried with pictures. Not easy to do, and no details showed up, but still a few of the moons. So let's take a look at a few of his photos. So he's got this one with Neowise, another one here.
Nice.
And there he's got Andromeda galaxy, which is, it is a tough target.
It is.
And I believe that's his ISS shot. He put a little LOL after it, so he did capture it. And there's his Jupiter with moons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, at this point, Saturn was slowly making its way from behind the tree, but it was getting late and I was tired. All pictures were taken with my Samsung Note 10 in Pro mode. So just the phone shots, all different settings, unknown, just by playing around Celestron, Cometron 15 by 75 binos mounted on his Bosch laser level tripod. Okay.
Huh. Good on.
Jupiter pic was taken with my Celestron Power Seeker 127 EQ with a 24 millimeter eyepiece on July the 20th from Oromocto. Cool. Thanks, Jeremy. Great
Good
shot, sir.
setup, straight up my alley.
Yeah.
Right on.
And I think this one was from Matt. This is from Matt Minturn. Shot of the Andromeda Galaxy as it was 2.5 million years ago. Good point. Because that's what it takes for those photons of light to reach us, of course, and the planet. 2.5 million years to get there from Andromeda. We got one here from Rita Kolpanitsky. Rita said she saw this on her live feed. She didn't take this shot, but she saw it on her live feed. Comet Neowise from Turtleback Dome. This stitched panoramic image was captured below the summit of Turtleback Dome, which is down by Yosemite, I guess, in a series of time exposures up to 60 seconds each between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. on July 18th. The large boulder, glacial erratic, appearing below the right end of the Milky Way, was lit during the exposures by a headlamp from several directions. The photography was by Scott Heighton. So, amazing shot.
Beautiful shot.
Really nice. Wow.
Bill Leonard said in this one, he said, check out this one, taken by a friend way out in Powell River, BC, he says. Photo by Raymond Fairweather. Nice capture.
That's nice. And
Gorgeous.
So many beautiful shots of a Neowise, isn't there? Like, just incredible shots. Everybody's out taking photos of it, which is great.
It's almost timely, wasn't it, to get everybody to kind of get together looking up at the sky at the same time.
Absolutely, yep. Jason Dane sent us in a few photos. Jason sent me these today. He says, hi there, just wanted to share this pic. I took this out on the Tantramar Marsh last week.
Wow.
I took a couple of Milky Way shots while I was up there. He said 13 seconds, ISO 6400, f2.8 on a Nikon D850 and a 20 millimeter f1.8 lens. He took 15 shots and stacked them for the sky. Then he took foreground at ISO 800 for 5 minutes. And then he said I needed to go down to 10 seconds as I'm still getting some star trails on my big sensor. Paul, I guess you know about that part. Look at that shot.
Look at that.
That's
Beautiful.
Nice, huh?
Oh, yeah. Jason's doing some nice work.
Very nice.
Okay, we got a few here from David Simard. David sent me these today, a 35 millimeter just from his backyard, he said. I believe David's in Alberta. And then go to Patty Millette. We all know Patty from the local club here. Yep. So Patty says, twinkle, twinkle, little stars. So she was out in her backyard, I believe, taking these photos of the night sky. So a couple of nice shots there.
Yes, sir.
And I wanted to share one other one. I've just got to take a second to find it now. Just give me a second. Let me bring it up here. I think I've got it. Bear with me. Might have to bring it up on my page. And it should be in my inbox. Just finding it here. Just one second. Too many windows open. Okay, Richard Williams. So this is from Richard William. I'm going to share the Facebook page right over here for a second, and I'm going to just click on this clip here for a second to show you what he sent us in.
Oh, nice time lapse.
Yeah.
Beauty.
You got some nice music there to it.
Cool.
Wish you spent some time outside on that one.
Gonna say.
That's a long lapse. That's
I
awesome.
keep moving the camera around, so my time lapses don't work out so well. I got to learn to leave the camera where it's at.
Yeah.
And don't kick the tripod.
Exactly.
So he sent us that from. He was in Alma, I believe, when he took that one. I think I had one last shot here. If I can bear with me, get back to my window again. Yeah, I did have. I had one last shot. And this is from Melissa Savoy, I believe. Yep, it's Melissa Savoy. And it should be coming up here. There it is. So Melissa says, hi, my friend Maggie Bacchus, who is a member of your page, wanted me to share our daughter's birthday cake.
Oh, wow.
She's celebrating today and asked for a galaxy cake, so this is our version. So,
That is cool.
that awesome?
That's
I love
fantastic. Hope
Wow.
Trudy's watching.
Yeah, I hope Trudy's watching. I'm sure she is, but
it. Yes, it
Very
is.
cool.
awesome
Wow.
shot there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, great job.
No, don't
Did she
want to
send
cut
any
into it.
samples?
What's that? It
Did
almost
she
makes
send
you
any
hungry.
samples?
Look at the sprinkles on it. I was hoping she sent a sample along. Yeah, I could have actually featured it on the show, but maybe next
Yeah.
time. And that's our photo submissions for the week. So pretty good.
Fantastic.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much, everybody, for those photos. That was awesome to be able to get those. And if you wanted to send more in, did I copy the address up here, or did I put it in here? Maybe I didn't. It's Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. I keep forgetting to put that in there.
Oh, Chris, Trudy says, yes, he's watching and no way.
No way. Yeah, I assumed.
I figured that would be a challenge, Trudy.
Yes, she said it's beautiful.
I would think so. Let me see if I can get that back up here. Oh, that's the wrong one.
It wouldn't be for lack of talent. I know that.
Yeah, give her another at it.
I would think.
Maybe put a couple of frogs on top of it.
Yeah.
There you go.
So Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. That's the address if you'd like to send your photos in. We'd love to get your photos. We love sharing them here as well. So please forward them along, and we've got a whole week here to collect them. So, and also I'll take them on my Facebook page as well. A lot of people are putting visitor posts up of photos lately. It's great to be able to get all those. So I did capture a few of those and threw them over tonight on tonight's broadcast. So anytime you'd like to share a photo, we'd love to share it with everybody else out there too. So thanks so much, everybody. I guess maybe now just a very quick, maybe what's up in the sky, and just get just a few slides to share here. And let's see if I can get it going here. Where are we here? You see that now? Yes?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So let's just share just a little bit of what we're talking about this week. Maybe I want to flip. So center view the slideshow. There. How's that? Okay, so what's up this week in our night sky? Just a really quick rundown of what we've been looking at lately. Of course, Comet Neowise. This is the path of Comet Neowise over the next week or so, leading up to the 31st. Right now, guys, I guess it's probably binocular target for most of us. I guess from down at the beach, Mike, we had a tough time the other night picking it out naked eye. If you stared at that section of the sky, you were able to pick it out eventually, but I had a tough time myself. But you had it in the scope, I guess, and in binoculars, it still gives a nice view. It is, of course, getting much dimmer. It's down to about a magnitude 4.5, I think, tonight I saw. So it's about 10 or 15 times dimmer than it was just a few days ago. So we've only got a few days left really to catch it underneath the Big Dipper, which we can see here. The bowl, there's the bowl, and we're looking at around the 26th now. So I guess we come straight down, almost straight out from the last star in the bowl, and that puts us where we are tonight. So a few more days this way, and then we'll still have it, but it'll be more of a telescope target, I guess, at that point. And I don't know how much detail you're going to pick up on it, even through smaller telescopes right at this point. So we did have a nice run, though. It was a nice surprise for sure for everybody. We weren't expecting it at all. We did see a couple just before that went around the sun and basically demolished. So. Or broke apart. So this one was a nice surprise, and who knows, right around the corner we could have another one. So there are more than 20 comets right now in our northern hemisphere up there. Some are approaching the sun, some have already passed by the sun and gone out the other way. So nothing really within naked eye visibility yet, but these things change very quickly. This one came around in March, so it wasn't that long ago when they picked it out. And these space telescopes that they're using, like NEOWISE, the name for NEOWISE is Near Earth Object Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer telescope. So it's a space telescope that's actually taking large sections of sky and looking for near Earth objects or asteroids, potentially hazardous ones. So it just happened to pick up the target there and saw this target moving across night after night, and course, it was named as a comet, and it gets named for the telescope or the explorer that discovers it. So if you happen to be out with a telescope and you're spending a lot of time in the evening sky and you find something that doesn't look like it was discovered before, put it in quick because you can get it named. So that's NEOWISE, and that was fun, a lot of fun. And it got everybody to look up again. Of course, here's another thing that gets everybody to look up that we're not all in favor of, but I don't know how they're affecting your sky down in Quinnan there, Tim. But of course, the Starlinks, which is another branch of 57 that are going to be launched apparently on Wednesday this week at I think it's 5:40 a.m. somewhere around that time. So I know people like to watch them, and I mean, for me, it's if people look up, then it's great that they're looking up. So if they're looking up, maybe they'll see these, and they'll take a look over and see Jupiter or Saturn at the same time, or maybe it passed through the Milky Way with binoculars or something. So it gives an excuse for people to look up, but they are pretty fascinating to watch, really. I mean, if you see all these little tiny dots, 57 of them all in a line, you know, for an evening or two. But I'll post up sometimes if once they become available. I usually go to a site called Spaceflight Now, and that tells us the schedule in there. And then from there, I'll go to usually Heavens Above, and they'll have a placeholder set there ready to place up the dates and times once the launch takes place. So if the launch does go ahead, this has been the fourth or third cancellation of this particular launch, and if it does go ahead this week, I'll put up some dates and times of when they'll be visible. That may only be in daytime sky, but I'll let you know either way. Of course, these are what's being applied now to the new Starlink satellites. So one of them out of the last mission had these deflectors on them. I forget the name of them now. I had it right on the tip of my tongue. It's gone. But they block a lot of the sunlight reflecting back to us at Earth. And this was Elon Musk's fix to prevent a lot of these from being seen in the early evening and early morning sky when they reflect the most sunlight. So not sure yet how they're going to affect long exposure photography. Paul, you're going to be affected a lot, I'm sure, by some of this, right? But you're able to apparently correct for some of the stuff flying through your shots.
Yeah.
I guess the real danger is a lot of the Earth-based science that's happening right now. For instance, if you're looking at an exoplanet, or you're looking for exoplanets around another star, and you spend a long time waiting for that planet to pass in front of that star so you can see the small amount of dip in brightness that would happen if a planet passed in front of it. Well, now you're going to have to find out, was that a planet passing in front, or was it a Starlink? And these Starlinks are not geostationary. They're moving around all the time. So who's going to make all those calculations to tell you which it was? It's going to lead to a lot of extra work, I think, for astronomers in general.
Yeah.
And I mean, also, it's another effect on the night sky. So we all know that. We're losing a night sky bad enough right now. But anyway, I guess it's for the betterment of the planet in some ways. So there are some good and some bad as well as anything, I guess. Another thing that's happening right now is that, and Mike, we talked about this the other night, all of the planets are on the same side of the sun right at the moment. Including Pluto in this one, because I still count Pluto. Some don't, but I do. He'd get a raw deal, I think. Especially since we went out there and saw how beautiful it was. But now all of the planets are on the one side of the sun, so they're all visible really within a morning, pretty well. If we wind ahead to 4 a.m. local time, I know this was from yesterday, but it was a post that I put up. So here we are at 4 a.m. looking southeast and south, and we've got bright Venus on our eastern sky, just rising. Uranus, if you know exactly where to look, you can pick it out in binoculars, and you can pick out Neptune as well. You'd really have to know the difference between a star and a planet to tell, but they are Neptune will be a softer blue, and the star, of course, would be a pinpoint. So you might notice something a little bit softer blue than an actual star. That would be Neptune. And Uranus. Of course, you can get star charts to tell you exactly where they are. If you go to Heavens Above website, you can actually bring them right up as well. But we've got Venus, Uranus, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter. Look at the planet parade there. I mean, what more could you ask for? Well, you could ask for Mercury. But I guess if you just want to wait for another hour, here comes Mercury. So we've got Mercury, Venus, Uranus, Mars. And back one slide, we've got Neptune, Saturn, and Jupiter. But Jupiter sets when Mercury's rising, so if you want to catch the majority of them, you want to go out around 4 a.m. There's 6 of them for you to view, and then wait until 5 a.m. and you've got the 7th one. Or 8th, I guess, because you've got Uranus in there. Pluto is going to be pretty well out of the picture. And if you look down at your feet, you'll find the other one. So, right, that's the one you're standing on. So that gets you 8 out of 9 planets in an hour, which is pretty cool. That's going to stay that way for a little bit longer. And of course, we've got the Perseid meteor shower that has already started. We caught a couple of them the other night, Mike, down at the Saints Rest Beach, I think.
Yep, that was you.
A few of them went by, so that might have been the last of the shower that has just ended. But Perseids actually had started earlier this week, and they peak actually on the night of the August 12th to 13th. On that night, we're going to have a 3rd quarter moon, roughly. So the moon will be rising just a little bit after midnight, which is really about the best time for the show, because it's usually after midnight when Perseus gets up high enough. Of course, they're called the Perseids because they seem to radiate from the Perseus constellation. Let's take a picture here and take a look. So there's Perseus and Capella in our late evening sky, 2 in the morning or so, when Perseus is up that high. And they seem to appear coming from Perseid, but that's not exactly, of course, where they're coming from. We're passing through a tail of dust that was left behind by Comet Swift-Tuttle. And as we pass through the tail, some years we go through a nice thick part of the tail. We have a really nice shower, and other years it's a very small part of the tail, and we have just a few meteors. This year they are predicting about 100 meteors per hour, between 1 and 125 that I've seen for reports anyway. But we're going to have a bright moon as well. Even though it's 3rd quarter moon, it'll still be fairly bright after midnight when it is the best time. So we probably might not get to see 100 an hour. Maybe you'll only get to see 50. Well, 50 is still a pretty good number. But the ideal thing about this is that you don't need anything for astronomy gear. You just go outside with a blanket and or a comfy chair, bring along your favorite beverage, bring along a friend, so that the 2 of you can sit there and one can watch one half of the sky and the other watch the other half of the sky, and you shout meteor, and kind of like punch buggy, what we used to do when we were kids, right? When you see a meteor coming across, you let the other person know, and they can catch it too. Bring along a pair of binoculars if you have them. They're a really cheap set of binoculars. Are really 2 telescopes joined together, and they're very portable. They're lightweight, easy to pan through the Milky Way part of the sky. So while you're sitting there waiting for the next meteor to come by, take a look at the Milky Way like this. Here we have beautiful Saturn sitting over here.
I was thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful to see that meteor shower through one of those dome tents that Tim has down there?
Oh, that'd be
awesome.
awesome. Yeah. So
we had a family from New Zealand who got the chance to see it at the was last year, and they got the chance to see it. And she said their 8-year-old set the alarm for every hour she would wake up until the peak. It was 4 o'clock, and they said this was the most spectacular view they had ever seen. So it was great.
Awesome. Well, I mean, this is Tim's sky down there, but we don't get quite to see it quite like this, but it's still pretty awesome. And we do have nice planets here, Saturn and Jupiter, to look at. Jupiter with binoculars, you're going to see Jupiter and 4 of its moons easily with binoculars. We've got Sagittarius sitting here just at the center of the Milky Way, which is over in this direction. Pan over here, we've got the Great Square of Pegasus. Take those 4 stars, head out 2 stars, head up 2 stars, and you're going to find Andromeda sitting right there, the next closest, largest galaxy to ours, at 2.5 million light years away. We've got all kinds of other stuff sitting in here. And there's something up here. I don't know, what do you call that one there, Paul?
Isn't it Leo?
Huh? What is it? Leo? Yeah, Leo. Yeah, sir. Somebody likes to shoot a lot of stuff in this area, but anyway.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's Cygnus.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, a beautiful night sky. You've got warm summer nights. No reason to be out sitting at home watching television when you get outside and enjoy this for free. This is all for free. Doesn't cost you a thing. And it's a great way to get out and share the evening sky with your family for sure. So that's what I can see on the agenda for this week coming up. There's probably a whole lot more, but that probably will be it for now. And we're back.
I was just thinking, I got a whole room behind me full of Didn't cost a thing.
Just remember, if you go before your wife does, don't let her sell it for what you told her you bought it for.
Exactly.
Nothing in that room was any more than $100, is it, Mike?
That's right.
Well, folks, I guess that's probably where we're at now. We're into
9:20.
9:20. Just like typical at night. We always say an hour show, but we're into more than that always. But it's always fun though. We're enjoying the evening. So I guess we'll probably call that an evening. So in closing tonight, I guess we'd like to thank everybody for your continued support out there. Remember, we do love getting your photos again, so you can send them into SundayNightAstronomyShow@gmail.com, and we will put them on our broadcast. Love to. Our special thanks again to our friend Tim Doucette. Tim out there. Yep.
Thank you very much.
Here to say thanks for joining us this evening. And remember to catch him out at Deep Sky Eye Observatory on the web, and also consider booking an amazing experience at his location. How's that for a plug?
Thank you.
You bet. Of course, thanks again to Rosanna Armstrong for her fun facts episodes. We always enjoy those. I know they're a lot of work, but we appreciate being able to have the opportunity to offer them to everybody. Paul, thanks so much again for all your contributions, and Mr. Mike Powell over here as well. And guys, I guess as we like to say, we'd like to ask first of all that you, if you enjoyed the content that you saw here tonight and you joined us from YouTube, please consider giving us a like on YouTube, and please consider giving us subscribing on the channel if you could. And don't forget to mention to your family members that we are here every Sunday night at the same time to help educate you and entertain you on the night sky. So for now then, from all of us here, from Mike, Paul, and Tim and I, please stay safe, everybody. We wish you all clear skies, and we hope that to see you here again next week. And remember, as we like to say, keep your scopes pointed up. Great, guys. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks again, Tim, for joining us. It was a pleasure.
Clear skies. Same
Take
here.
care, folks.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.